The restaurant was beautiful. Roses on the table. Champagne already poured. White candles. Soft music. The kind of evening most women dream about. Derek reached across the table. He squeezed Olivia's hand and smiled. "Happy anniversary, baby," he said. 10 years. Can you believe it? He looked like a man who had gotten away with something. Olivia smiled back, and that smile, that calm, beautiful, terrifying smile, she already knew. She had known for exactly 90 days. She had not said a single word. Not one. Not at breakfast. Not at dinner. Not when he kissed her goodnight. Not when he said, "I love you." Not yet. This is the story of Olivia, a woman who loved completely, was betrayed silently, and watched, and waited, and then destroyed everything, methodically, beautifully, without raising her voice once. La, la, la. Olivia Carter was the kind of woman people called too good, not in a weak way, not in a naive way, in a quiet, dangerous way. She grew up in a small town in Ohio, third of 4 children. Her father was a contractor. Her mother was a school teacher. They were not rich, but they were steady. And steady was something Olivia understood. She graduated top of her class, full scholarship to architecture school, built her firm from nothing. By 34, she had 17 employees. She designed buildings that lasted, hospitals, schools, beautiful homes for other families. She was good at making things that stood. Derek had none of that. He had charm, a big smile, the kind of confidence that looks like competence until you look closer. And Olivia. He had Olivia. She designed buildings. He sold dreams. He was the loudest person in every room. She was the most capable. For years, it worked. She believed in him before anyone else did. She stayed up late helping him with pitch decks. She introduced him to her professors. She lent him money twice in the early years. He paid her back once. She designed the first office Derek ever sold. Her name was never on the deal. He said it was better that way. Less complicated, he said. Cleaner, he said. She always believed him. And Jessica, Olivia's best friend, since freshman year of college, 14 years of friendship. They had met in the dormitory laundry room at 11 o'clock at night, both of them crying over different things. They laughed about that later. For years, they laughed about that. Jessica was the maid of honor at their wedding. She gave a toast that made everyone cry. She talked about how Olivia deserved every beautiful thing in the world. She meant it. Or Olivia had believed she meant it. Jessica was the godmother of their daughter. She was there in the delivery room. She held Clara before Derek did. Olivia trusted Jessica with everything. Her fears, her passwords, her deepest insecurities, the things she never told Derek, her husband. She trusted her with all of it. It started with a charger, a phone charger, the most ordinary thing in the world. It was a Tuesday evening. Clara was already asleep. Derek was in the shower. His phone died on the kitchen counter. He called out from upstairs, "Babe, can you charge my phone?" His passcode, her birthday. He had used her birthday for everything. She used to find that romantic. She plugged it in. The screen lit up. One message. From Jay. "Last night was everything. Miss you already." Olivia stared at that screen. 7 words. 7 words that rewrote 10 years. Her hands did not shake. She did not drop the phone. She did not make a sound. She scrolled up, and the world she had built began to come apart. 1 hour. She read for 1 full hour. Months of messages. Hotel receipts forwarded as texts. Inside jokes. Pet names. Inside jokes about her. "She thinks I'm working late. LOL 3 times. She had packed him dinner that night in a blue container, chicken and rice, because he said he hadn't eaten. She had packed him dinner while he was with someone else. And then she saw the name, Jessica, her best friend, her maid of honor, the godmother of her daughter, the woman who had held her while she cried, the woman who knew every secret, every fear, every vulnerability. Jessica. Olivia put the phone down. She placed it exactly where she found it. Same angle. Same position. She walked to the sink. She turned on the cold water. She let it run over her wrists for a long moment. Then she poured herself a glass, drank it slowly. She heard Derek turn off the shower upstairs. She heard him walk across the floor. She heard him get into bed. And then she made a decision. Not tonight. Not today. Not yet. She was going to do this right. Olivia sat at the kitchen table alone that night. Derek was asleep upstairs, 3 feet away from their daughter's room. The house was quiet, the kind of quiet that used to feel safe. She thought about the beginning, the night she met Derek. Jessica had introduced them. Of course, she thought about the miscarriage. 3 years into the marriage, 11 weeks along, she had been alone when it started. Derek was at a conference in Chicago. She had called Jessica first. Jessica had driven 40 minutes in the rain. She had held Olivia on the bathroom floor. She had stayed the whole night, the whole time. Even then, the whole time, she thought about every holiday, every birthday, every time Derek came home late and had a perfectly reasonable explanation. She thought about the girls' trips, every girls' trip Jessica had canceled. Something came up. Jessica always said. She thought about last Christmas, Derek working late, Jessica at her parents'. They had been together while Olivia wrapped presents, while Clara sat on Olivia's lap and pointed at the Christmas tree. She thought about the way Jessica always complimented Derek, how Olivia had thought it was sweet, how she had thought, "What a good friend to care so much about my husband." The pieces, all the pieces, landing now, one by one, all of them. Olivia did not cry that night. She thought about crying. She felt the edge of it, that place where the tears wait. But she stepped back from it because she understood something. Crying was for after, and after hadn't come yet. She opened her laptop and she began to plan. 90 days. She gave herself 90 days, not because she was afraid, because she was throic. She made eggs, Derek's favorite, over easy, with hot sauce. She poured his coffee. She asked about his day. She texted Jessica, "Good morning," just like always. Jessica replied with a heart. Olivia replied with a heart back. Inside, she was building, quietly, methodically, the way she built everything. Step 1, she called her attorney. Not a divorce attorney, a forensic financial attorney. There's a difference. A divorce attorney fights for what you have. A forensic financial attorney finds what they've been hiding. Her name was Patricia. Olivia had met her at a women's business dinner 2 years earlier. She had kept her card. She didn't know why at the time. She knew why now. Patricia asked no unnecessary questions. She listened. She took notes. And then she said, Olivia said, "Take 60. Because Olivia knew something nobody else knew. 5 years earlier, she had quietly put her architecture firm into a trust, her name only, on the advice of a mentor who told her, always protect what you build, even from the people you love. Derek had never asked about the trust. He had never cared. He didn't think about the firm as hers. He thought about it as theirs, the way he thought about everything she built. Now she was grateful, more grateful than she had words for. Step 2, she began documenting everything, every hotel charge on the joint account, client dinners that were never client dinners, cash withdrawals every Friday, $300, every single Friday. For 14 months, she printed everything. She organized it by date. She color-coded it. She put it in a locked filing box in the trunk of her car. 90 days of receipts, 90 days of lies. All printed, all organized, all dated. She was an architect. She built things that lasted. She built things that could not be argued with. Olivia was in her car, parking lot of the grocery store. She had just finished a call with Patricia. Her phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Olivia, the voice said quietly. This is Marcus. She went very still. Marcus, Jessica's husband. She had known Marcus for 12 years. Quiet man, civil engineer, coached their daughter's soccer team. He had always been kind. He had always been steady. I know, he said. I think you know too. Neither of them said anything for a long moment. He had found out 6 weeks before Olivia. 6 weeks. And he had said nothing. Just like her. 2 people, both sitting at dinner tables, both making coffee in the morning, both smiling, both carrying it alone, both planning. They met once, one coffee shop, one corner table, 1 hour. Marcus looked exhausted, the kind of exhausted that sleep doesn't fix. He slid a folder across the table. He didn't say anything. He just slid it across. Photos, dates, locations, a private investigator's full report. 47 pages. Marcus wrapped both hands around his coffee cup. He looked at Olivia. "What's your plan?" he asked. Olivia looked at him for a moment. Then she smiled. That cold, beautiful smile. "Derek's company annual gala is in 3 weeks," she said. "His biggest investors, his board, his entire world, all in one room. One night." Marcus was quiet. Then he nodded slowly. "Tell me what you need," he said. "One room, penned, 82nd day. Olivia picked Clara up from school. Clara was 7 years old. She had Olivia's eyes. She had Derek's laugh. Olivia used to love that about her. She still did. She always would. Clara climbed into the back seat. She dropped her backpack on the floor. She pressed her face against the window. They drove in silence for a while. Then Clara said, "Mommy, is Daddy happy?" Olivia's hands tightened on the wheel. "Just slightly. Just for a second." "Why do you ask, baby?" she said. Her voice was completely calm. Clara was quiet for a moment. She kept looking out the window. Because at Aunt Jessica's birthday dinner, he and Aunt Jessica kept looking at each other. And I didn't like it. It felt wrong. 7 years old. A 7-year-old child saw it, felt it, and said so. Olivia reached back and touched Clara's hand. "You're very smart," Olivia said quietly. Clara smiled and looked back out the window. She had no idea what she had just confirmed. Something changed in Olivia that night. After Clara was asleep, after the house was quiet, after Derek had gone to bed early, saying he was tired, Olivia sat in the kitchen again, in the same chair, same table, same quiet house, but something was different. The sadness left, completely, not gradually, all at once. What replaced it had no name. It was colder, it was focused, and it was ready. She tucked Clara in, kissed her forehead, smoothed her hair, stood in the doorway for a long moment. Then she walked downstairs, sat at the kitchen table, opened her laptop, and sent 3 emails. 3 emails at 11:47 at night. The gala was in 8 days. Stories like Olivia's are not rare. Stories like Olivia's are not rare. Millions of people sit at dinner tables, smiling at someone who is lying to them, passing the salt, asking about their day, not knowing, or sometimes knowing, and not yet ready to let the life they built. If any part of this story feels familiar, there is a book that has helped thousands of betrayal survivors understand why this happens and how to find peace after. The link is in the description below. Your first audiobook is completely free. Now, back to Olivia. 8 days before the gala, at 11:47 at night. First, to her attorney, Patricia. File the divorce petition Friday. Do not serve him until I say. I will tell you exactly when. Second, to Derek's largest investor, a man named Howard Chen. Howard was 71 years old. He had come to this country with $40 and a suitcase. He had built everything himself, and he believed, above all things, in people who did the same. Olivia had designed Howard's flagship building, a 12-story medical center on the east side of the city. She had worked 18 months on that project. Howard had called it the finest building anyone had ever designed for him. They had remained close. He sent her a card every Christmas. He had met Clara once and called her a little architect. Olivia asked for 15 minutes of his time before the gala. In private, he replied in 4 minutes. Of course, anything you need. Third email, to the gala event coordinator. A small request. Access to the venue's main presentation screen for 5 minutes during cocktail hour. She said she wanted to surprise Derek. A tribute video. 10 years of marriage. Photos. Memories. Love. The coordinator replied the next morning. She said it was the most romantic thing she had ever been asked to arrange. She said, Derek was a lucky man. Olivia read that email. She closed her laptop. She poured herself a glass of water. It was not sweet. It was not romantic. It was not a tribute. The gala was 3 days away. Derek came home that evening, excited. He had a new suit, navy blue. He asked Olivia if it looked good. She said yes, it does. You look great. He kissed her on the cheek. He said he couldn't wait for everyone to see them. 10 years strong, he said. She smiled. She handed him his dinner. She asked about his day. Derek had no idea. Jessica had no idea. Everyone at that gala had absolutely no idea. 90 days. 3 days left. If you think you know what Olivia did, you don't. Because what happened at that gala was not what anyone expected. Not Derek, not Jessica. Not a single person in that room. Part 2 is already up. Link in the description. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Drop a black heart in the comments if this story already has you. Just a black heart. No words needed.